According to Bleacher Report, NFL free agents are becoming leery of Eagles coach Chip Kelly's roster-building philosophy in the aftermath of this week's McCoy trade. Players around the league say they were left a little leery of Chip Kelly, asking, does Chip Kelly value players in the league, or does he value his own system? That is the question. Freddie, let me ask you this. Are you now doubting Chip Kelly now that the players have concerns over him now?
I'm not doubting Chip Kelly, but the one thing I think it could be a problem, because you can say you have $50 million, almost $50 million in cap space, but if players are looking at you sideways going, I don't know, you got rid of McCoy, had 2,900 yards rushing in that system, and you're not valuing us, but you're going to try to make this system work at our expense. I don't care how much cap space you have. I'm not going to want to sign up with what you're trying to accomplish in Philadelphia. There was a great article in the Philadelphia Daily News today written by Paul Domowitch. I hope I got his last name right. He says, if I'm owner Jeff Leery, I am sweating bullets right now, because Kelly is a good coach, but he's an inexperienced evaluator. You can't all of a sudden give a guy the keys to the kingdom like this and say, okay, do this. And now other players are like, well, if I'm in Ndamukong Suh, I'm thinking, yeah, you may have a lot of cap space, but do I want to put up with that? Because if the system, the players make the system, but you're trying to fit this and it's not going to work, I'm going to go somewhere else where I know I can make the system work and the system's going to work for me. And I'm not against coaches or anybody having a system. If you believe in what you believe in and you feel you can make it work, you got to try to exercise that. But it seems to me this whole lab experiment that seems to have that feel with Chip Kelly, that I'm going to get rid of guys, but I'm going to bring in younger, faster, and cheaper players, because those are the guys I want in my system. You know what? You better make it work in that city. Because if we're having this conversation 2 years from now, I guarantee you Jeffrey Lurie is going to step in and bring in another head coach, because this lab experiment, if it doesn't work, there's not going to be a gray area. It's either going to succeed greatly or fail miserably. And for Chip Kelly's sake, it better not fail miserably, or he's going to hear about it in Philadelphia.
That's all I was saying yesterday when I threw out the question about where's Jeff Lurie in all this. And I think, I'm not trying to take the question or the conversation away from Chip Kelly, but to me, it should be about Lurie. Like, this guy's only been in your organization 2 years. You have had this organization for years. You know what you're doing. How are you letting this guy come in and do this, and you're just cool with it? Because it seems to us from the outside looking in that Lurie's like, I'm cool with whatever he's doing.
He gave him the power.
I know, and but that's the question. That's the question I'm asking. Why is he doing this?
Well, look, so far he's been somewhat successful. You know, 10 wins each of the 2 seasons. We know they didn't make the playoffs last year, but he's been somewhat successful. He's trying to do a Belichick. Belichick is the system guy. Sure. Players are expendable, at least most players. Expendable.
But he's adaptable.
Well, yeah, but that's the difference, too, is that Belichick has won and proven to be one of the best coaches ever. With Chip Kelly, it better work. It's one thing for players that you cut or trade to be, now they're upset. But when free agents are saying that, and we know players say that about Belichick. Yeah. Oh, he does, he doesn't treat he takes his system over talent and so on and so forth. But he has proven that he wins. If I'm with you. If in 2 years they're struggling, Chip Kelly might be gone.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Chris. 9 players now on his roster, all from Oregon, played with him while he was there. It's almost as if, because the college philosophy is that the coach is normally the star, the leader of the team. You can't really do that in the NFL because you're talking to grown men. Do you see that he's trying to create a culture where he's just the boss and no one else deals with him? It seems to me everyone he's shipping out has a lot of personality, pretty much the leaders. We got Deshaun, we got LaShawn. Yeah. So what would you take from that as we see him building this roster?
I think that's exactly what he's trying to build. He's trying to build a culture where he is the boss. And again, Belichick's built that. Now he's got Tom Brady, but still, he's built that in New England. The point is, Chip Kelly better be successful. You better win next year. You better win the year after that. And if you do, it'll be fine. Nobody can say anything. But if you don't, that's when it's going to backfire.
Can I ask a question? I want to bring Lurie back in the conversation. If that happens, you're going to allow your organization to be in that type of hole?
Well, we don't know. They're not in a hole yet. Well, that's the thing. We have to wait and see.
I know, but like
he has faith.
But look, if he's selling this to Lurie, like, look, I want to bring this college system here to the pros, and historically that necessarily does not work.
That's probably one reason Lurie has so much faith in him, is that, as you said, historically college coaches coming in, it hasn't worked. With him, it did work. 10 wins his first year in the playoffs.
No, the players that got him those 10 wins are not there anymore, though, Chris.
But that's his decision.
Right. Those are Andy Reid guys that are not there. He's emptying. I used the word gutted yesterday. Because if Macklin's not there, then you're losing the core of the people that got you there.
You guys talk about a culture. Any successful coach will build a culture. But Jimmy Johnson did that when he got the Dallas Cowboys. But he also said, I need players. So he drafted Troy Aikman. He swung the trade to get Emmitt Smith with the Herschel Walker deal and all those guys. He said, I can have all the culture I want. Culture doesn't work if you don't have talented guys. So if Chip Kelly's going to have this kind of culture, he better have a talented quarterback, whether it's Nick Foles, or we tried to trade for Marcus Mariota, whatever that's going to be. I'm all for culture. You know what? You want to change things. You want to try to win your way. You're going to live or die by your system. Okay, I get it. If you don't have players, Bill Belichick has always had players. He took a chance on Randy Moss. That worked pretty well.
That
Randy
was
Moss.
either way, but outside of that, think about other than Brady and a few others, he's run guys in and out of there.
LeGarrette Blount came back. Darrelle Revis said, I don't know if I can ever play for that guy. The minute Belichick called and tried to swing a trade, oh, yeah, I'm in with the culture because he needed talented players. Chip Kelly better find talented players if this is going to work. If he doesn't, he can be the biggest star all he wants. He's not going to win that way.
And let me throw this out there. Let me ask you a question real quick, just rhetorical. How many championships did Jimmy Johnson have in Miami before he came to Dallas?
He had a national championship in Miami.
Okay, how many did Chip have?
He had 0 at Oregon.
Thank you.
But let's be fair.
So his plan, if he's trying to do that, if he's trying to reinstate this culture and he basically bring more Oregon players and build the same system in the NFL that he had in college, where's your winning proof?
Well, hold on. You can't sit here and say just because he don't have a national championship, he didn't win. He took a complete non-entity football-wise, and turned him into
Michael
a
Lottie
national.
Got that started.
Okay, but he turned him into a national power.
He did. Able to recruit nationally.
Yeah, and so
here's the
that
deal. Here's the deal: that the difference between a guy like Jimmy Johnson and Chip Kelly, because I'm hoping that Chip Kelly is not. I hope he's more like Jimmy Johnson. I want to see if this is going to work, and not like Steve Spurrier. Steve Spurrier is a great college coach. Got to the NFL, he didn't realize how hard the game was. I think Chip Kelly's smart to understand how hard the NFL game is. But Jimmy Johnson, to this day, is still an underrated talent evaluator. Plenty of guys that he signed to Dallas Cowboys. People say, why is he signing that guy? He knew how to spot talent, and he had enough people around him that could spot talent. That's why I thought the article by Paul Domowitch saying, you know what, I know he's a good coach. I've seen that. But he's inexperienced as a talent evaluator, so we're going to find out a lot about Chip Kelly from that standpoint. If he can't spot the right kind of talent to make this culture, the system work, he's going to be more Steve Spurrier than Jimmy Johnson.
Well, let's talk talent. So he got rid of Kerry Williams, Trent Cole, LaShawn McCoy. Obviously on the market, there's Ndamukong Suh, DeMarco Murray, and just now we heard
Randall
about
Cobb.
Will Ford. Who do you see him going after?
I think he goes after a guy like Randall Cobb. I think he's suited for that system. Randall Cobb is not going to get $9 to $12 million from Green Bay. I don't think he's getting that from Philadelphia either, but they may sweeten the pot a little bit for him. If this system is going to work, the offensive line has to be healthy, and it wasn't healthy a lot last year with Philadelphia. Year before, when they were fully healthy, they were just steamrolling people with the great job that LaShawn McCoy did. But in that system, it's always been predicated on getting matchups and making matchups work for you and taking advantage of that. Even though they've been able to win 10 games both of those years, he hasn't really developed matchup situations against defense other than pace of play. If you're not succeeding on first and second down, pace of play doesn't matter now because you're off the field in 1, 2, 3 plays, and now you're putting your defense back out there and you put more pressure on your defensive coordinator. So if he's going to have playmakers, he's got to have that start from the offense and hope the defense will stop people enough where that pace of play is not going to wear down his defense and it wears down opposing.
Will Ford good fit for them?
I think he's going to try to build up the offensive and defensive lines. I think that's what he's going to do. Like you said, last year the offensive line struggled. He's going to try to build them up because that's what he views as the hallmark of his system.
Absolutely.
In addition to the great quarterback. I don't think he goes after DeMarco Murray. You know, he wants backs that hit the hole quick. And LaShawn was a dancer.
I don't know.
At times, Sproles looked better. At times, Sproles looked better than LaShawn. As much as I like Shady, Sproles hits the hole. And he averaged 5 yards a carry last year. And LaShawn is a dancer, and I think that's part of what Chip Kelly was feeling.
I think you brought up a good point from a free agent standpoint. With all this going around, the people you talked about, even Dominican, however we go, if it goes DeMarco, whoever, if it's Randall Cobb, whoever, are they going to want to go into the system?
Right.
Is actually the way this is being played out, and with Chip Kelly not saying anything and not speaking to what his plan is, are players going to be leery like, I don't want to go in there because I really don't know what's going on?
Yeah.
Are they going to be able to attract anybody?
How is he going to sell that?
Yes.
If you're in that meeting with that free agent, How do you sell that system?
Well, he
culture?
doesn't.
Well, money-
Yeah, I was saying, I don't see him saying, I'm the boss.
But if you know you
That's
get the
all.
same kind of money from somewhere else, and he can't sell his system properly,
You know
you're
what
gonna
he's
go
going to
somewhere
sell?
else.
Look, we won 10 games the last 2 years. You want to win? This system works? Come on.
But you don't get.
And we paying.
We'll see.
I think he might go after DeMarco. I think you said that he likes the dancer. I think he might go after DeMarco.
No, I think he likes guys that hit the hole straight. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
DeMarco's not going anywhere. Though.
You don't think so?
No, he's staying in
He's
Dallas.
staying in Dallas.
I'm with
Staying
you.
in
He's not
Dallas.
going anywhere.
All right.
Dallas all
He's
day.
not going. Adrian
You heard it
Peterson in
here.
Minnesota.
Yep,
He's staying in
everything
Dallas.
is Randall Cobb is the best option.
All right, let's leave it here, gentlemen. We'll have that discussion another time. Coming up next, we'll talk about this play that everyone's been questioning. You guys watched the Super Bowl, right?
No, I missed that one.
You missed the Super Bowl? Okay. Seahawks didn't win. That's the update.
Darn it.
When we come back, Seahawks corner Byron Maxwell will share his thoughts on what was going on the sideline when Butler made that incredible interception. We'll be right back in just a few moments.